Today, we're going to be talking about Lady Bird and Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle, so stay tuned. Welcome to The Real Review, sponsored by Parametric and Lazy Ape Studios, where you get some of the latest happenings, real thoughts, and perspectives in the world of film and television. Everybody, I am here with Joel Gentleman Bird Cunningham.
Oh, thank you, sir. Very much. I like that.
How's it going?
Kind of a playoff thing. Good.
Good.
I liked how you said parametric. It was like parametric.
Parametric.
Sounded a little different than usual.
It's okay.
Maybe that's because we've been on such a long break, we've forgotten how to say
Parametric.
our intro there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So I am here with Matt, such a fan of the quirky. Hey.
I love the quirky.
You love the quirky, yeah.
Certain kinds of quirky, not the kind of quirky that we're going to talk about later.
No?
No,
No?
not as much.
Not really.
Not
We
much.
haven't talked about this yet, so
Yeah.
talking a little bit about Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady Bird.
And I was assuming, I guess we'll see.
We'll talk about that.
I was assuming things based upon your impressions
You
and
were
text
assuming
messages.
things. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I apologize.
Yeah. You
You know
know, you
what
can
that-
only convey so much in a text message with emojis.
You know
So-
what they say about people that assume things? That they're likely to assume a lot of things.
Okay. Yes, that is that. So welcome to The Real Review. Vidcast, podcast, what we're doing here. Anyways, so if you're new to this, basically what we do is we watch movies. We do that. We review them, and then we break them down kind of. Joel and I have different perspectives when we go, and I tend to typically rate a movie based on how it emotionally moved me or how I felt during it. I might be a little bit more quick to get teary-eyed at things. Joel is a little bit more analytical.
Yes.
And he'll be a little bit more critical, get into the actual technicalities of the filmmaking process.
Tend to.
And, you know, we can both dabble in each side of that camp, but
Agreed.
for the most part, that's what we do. And we got a couple movies we're going to do that for you with today.
Yes.
But, Joel, tell everybody how they can get connected with us.
I'd love to do so, Matt. I will let you know some quick ways. First of all, we have our Facebook, which is facebook.com. I'm going to burp.
Burp.
There you go. Facebook.com/Real Review Media. We also have our website, which is realreviewmedia.com. Definitely love to connect with you on that. We also have our Instagram and our Twitter, which are both at Real Review. And then, of course, email. We'd love to get emails from people. We're always enjoying when we have perspectives and input from our listeners. realreviewmedia@gmail.com. And I should have said at the very beginning, we're back. We took a lot of time off.
We are back. We did take a little time off.
Yeah.
Between the holidays, between work, between...
Matt was getting emergency cosmetic surgery.
Right, exactly.
No, you had some people sick in your family.
I have all my whole family was sick. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I was like, all right, well, it's not going to happen. But we are back.
We are back.
It's happening.
We're ready to
now.
go. So we're going to do this and then a special episode after this.
Yes.
We're going to do in two-part.
Yeah.
Best and worst of 2017.
Yes.
Which is amazing. We're going to skip out on the tube talk for now.
Yep.
Just because there's not
It's
a lot
winter.
coming. We have some stuff. You've been watching a little bit of Black
Winter is
Mirror,
coming.
right?
Yes.
Winter is coming. It
Yes.
is here, Matt.
Yes.
And I've been watching that as well and enjoying it. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about that
That's
at some
good.
point. But yeah, so awesome.
Good stuff. Anyways, let's dive right into it. First one we want to talk about today is most likely going to be an Oscar contender for this year, is what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking winter.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have my reasons. We'll talk a little bit about
Okay.
that. I don't want to spoil it too much.
We
yet.
are talking about Lady Bird, and this is written and directed by Greta Gerwig. Basically, the synopsis is in the early 2000s, an artistically inclined 17-year-old comes of age in Sacramento, California. That's it. There's not like a huge
good
plot
description.
detail.
Yeah.
I would even add to that, it's more about her and her relationship with her mom.
Yeah.
And that's really it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also, I can never pronounce her name. Is it Saris?
I really, you know me
Ceres?
names.
I am so sorry.
Cerise. Let's just say Cerise.
Ronan, Laurie Metcalf,
If we're
Tracy
wrong, let
Letts,
us know.
Lucas Hedges. I'm sure I'm wrong that time.
Yeah.
I usually feel like I guess right, but this time I'm not right. But anyways, Lady Bird. So we got a chance to check this out. Joel, I guess.
Yeah.
Overall impression, and if you want to roll with some positives.
Sure. So I should say that's my phone, my alarm.
Hey, your alarm's going, telling us that. Hey, is it telling you that we're doing a podcast?
It's telling me that, hey, you need to get to work on your podcast.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah,
Hey, awesome.
perfect
Good
timing for it.
reminder.
So I would say the biggest thing, and I know I said quirky before.
Yeah.
I think the better word for this movie is more whimsy.
Okay.
It really felt, and this is a positive, you
Okay,
know.
yeah.
for me at least. It really felt like a shadow version or a slightly different version of like a Wes Anderson film.
Okay, yeah.
There's ways of interacting. There's ways of specifically Cerise, if that's her name, and her mom and her friends, and kind of how Lady Bird kind of approaches the world and sees the world that sort of influences, I think, the direction of a lot of the acting and the tone of the film. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
At times. I mean, not a lot of fun, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a different take on maybe what a film like this would normally be. You know, normally something like this would go straight down a very simple, dramatic tone.
Sure.
Where this had a lot of levity. This had a lot of like simple fun interaction, and it had a lot of just her talking to friends and talking to her mom and arguing with her mom. And the movie opens in a pretty fun way.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off with kind of like, you know, hey, we're going to have fun, but then there's going to be serious stuff that happens too that's kind of mixing. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a sense of where the movie's going just from the first like intro. And I like that. Yeah. I think overall the acting was also really good.
Yeah.
That's the big positives.
Sure.
What
Yeah, big. I'd have to agree with you, actually. I did, in going back and kind of what I was saying earlier, I did like some of the quirkiness. A lot of my favorite stuff came from Julie, which is her best friend.
Yeah.
And this is weird because I got like hints of like she would kind of play off of her character's like physical demeanor a lot, kind of, and she reminded me of Rebel Wilson in that way.
I could see that.
And but I did enjoy her. I thought she did really well. Acting was really good. I did enjoy that. I did like the dynamic between her and her mom, Lady Bird, Christine, and her mom, because I felt like that was portrayed in a fairly realistic way, and a lot of like pent up like resentment, but also being willing to like maybe even on a dime be like, oh, okay, no, we're back to being okay again. But I didn't initially like, I guess I still don't necessarily like connect emotionally with that, but staying on the positives, my favorite character in the whole movie actually was Lady Bird's dad.
He was great.
Yeah,
there
was
a
just
great
like,
cast of side characters in the movie that I think really filled it out.
Yeah, super chill guy. I kind of liked the quirkiness, not necessarily of Lady Bird, but of her, like, of the supporting cast.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like a Wes Anderson film, a little bit like, I forget the director, cut from Napoleon Dynamite and everything.
Right.
It felt like a little, like a shadow version of that, but not as intense. Mm-hmm. You know, primarily a drama, but with elements of that at play. Yeah,
for sure. Like there's a couple scenes with like Miguel, which is I think adopted brother, right?
I believe so.
And
that wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Right. So, and like I kind of like some of that stuff. He's not even really in it that much, but I did enjoy that. Other than that, that's kind of my positive route on that as well.
I liked the relatability of most of the side casted characters. Yeah. And again, I think that was a huge aspect to this film. I think if it had just been focused mostly on Christine, Lady Bird, then it would have been probably a much less interesting, much less dynamic type film. Yeah. Because it filled it out and made it feel like a world of people versus just one girl's experience as she's kind of growing up and going through this stuff. And it's just a simple, for the most part, it's like maybe a year and a half of time, you know, maybe a year and a half of time. And it's just a small little aspect of that, but you really get a sense of everybody's characters going somewhere. Everybody's characters kind of living their life and moving into different areas, and their relationships are changing a little bit, but they're growing as people, they're shrinking as people. Yeah. And I like that. I mean, you don't get movies super often that can do that and also do that in a fun way and an engaging way. And I agree with you on the side characters. Julie was hilarious to me. I thought she was awesome. I almost like, wow, I wish they had a movie just about her, like to see kind of so what her experiences are like. Even that girl, Jen, played by Odeya Rush, Jenna, who was kind of like the prissy, like, you know, it girl. Yeah. She had like a depth to her character where you could tell that there was like, she was coming from an experience, and they didn't do that standard thing. Like there was a moment where she kind of forms that friendship with Lady Bird, and they could have done the thing where it was like, oh, well, girls are so catty and da-da-da. But it's like, no, they were legitimate friends, and so they just kind of worked it out and they moved forward. I think the biggest, so we can start moving to gripes. Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest gripes that I kind of had to this is a lot of times I was watching the movie and I was just asking myself the question, why? Yeah,
I know. That's, you know? I text you like halfway through it. I was like, I kind of feel like bored and I don't know what's happening right now. Maybe I don't get it yet.
Yeah, and I will say this, and this kind of goes into my impressions of it moving into like Oscar season.
Yeah.
As much as I like the movie overall, and I'm going to give it a positive rating.
Yeah.
I really feel like this is a movie that much more appeals to a female audience.
Sure.
And I'm not trying to generalize or anything like that. Like if this was a movie about a young boy and his father, then I would think that would be a movie that would more generally appeal to a male audience.
Honestly, I would have related it to it more because I could not relate to her relationship with her mom, and that was the biggest element of this film. And I was kind of like, ooh, some of that stuff was like real, portrayed in a real way. It was hard to watch at times.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I don't know. I wasn't emotionally invested in a lot of what was happening.
Yeah, and going back to the comparison I made to like a Wes Anderson type film.
Yeah.
It felt like they were willing to commit to a certain extent with that style, but specifically with camera choices and cinematography and the way that they shoot it, like the cinematography in and of itself, didn't really emote all that much. Like it wasn't bad cinematography, but it was just kind of there to serve the purpose of telling this story about Lady Bird and her friends and everything. And I think that's what makes Wes Anderson films, for me, at least so distinct and interesting and kind of stand out experience-wise, is that you don't really know, like he might suddenly switch into like claymation or, or like paper mache or like you never really know where he's going, or he uses, slow motion very effectively, and he has these rousing scores for different moments and stuff, and it's just very effective. Whereas with this movie, it was fun and it was quirky and there was kind of cute back and forth, and they're showing a side of, I think a lot of people like this because they're kind of showing a side of this relationship with a mom and a daughter that is very normal to where our current era is like, and isn't been shown in cinema a lot, and I can appreciate that. But that in and of itself doesn't elevate the film to where I feel like it's being elevated to in a lot of Rotten Tomatoes. And I think, again, I think it's a great film. I liked it, but I think that's probably why it's getting as much buzz right now. And that sounds rude probably to some people, but
my biggest thing was I still don't really understand why she chose to be named Lady Bird.
I think that's just a quirk of her character.
Okay.
I mean, we've all probably known people. Well, I did. I used to hang in choir and drama circles where they're just like the overly dramatic, very self-confident, but lacking inner self-esteem.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like they just put it all out there.
Yeah.
And they just, the performers by nature, like life is a stage kind of people. And I think that's what she was.
Yeah. Okay.
But like a young version of that.
Gotcha.
And so it made sense why she was doing that.
I don't feel like there was any resolution to the film.
Right. No, yeah.
That was my other positive or negative. I was like, it ended, and I was like, wait, what? It was just over.
Right. I didn't really know what they were trying to say at the end of the film.
Right.
Because we can't spoil it, but stuff kind of just happens at the very end.
Yeah. And like,
some of it's kind of significant feeling.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's some big self-realization or maybe there's something that just happened. But then I was thinking, well, maybe that was kind of the point of it.
Right.
Which I didn't really like though, but maybe the point of it was to say that like life just goes on and she's taken a step forward. Like she's made a progress in a way.
Yeah.
But there's so much unresolved. It almost felt like they were setting up for a sequel.
Yeah, a little bit.
It almost felt it up like, now let's do Lady Bird in college. Like the experience is like weirdly.
To me, I didn't like the ending, but I just felt like it was like, we're good. Let's have it be done here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. We ran out of time and money too, so let's just, we'll just throw the credits right now. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. The dialogue was great at times, I think.
It felt real.
Yeah, it felt real. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I thought it was, I think there was a couple twists in there that was pretty funny, just in regard to specifically constantly her trying to make it work with relationships with guys and it not working and not working. And I thought that was kind of cute and funny and felt very realistic at times too. But I think that went a little over the top a couple times for me. I thought it was, see, I can't spoil anything.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah, but the interaction she had with her guidance counselor, like that was hilarious to me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like just the funniest thing. And I like that they didn't set her up as like this, as a Mary Sue.
Yeah.
Which we've seen, like the whole Star Wars thing. Again, I'm probably throwing things out there that people are like, how dare you say that?
I don't believe in that theory, Joel.
You don't believe in that theory? Well, we can talk when we get off camera. But but they didn't set her up as an infallible, perfect, character that's just going around kind of like with these peons. And if they had done that, this film would have been very, very unrelatable. I mean, she's got foibles, she's got issues. And so, overall, enjoyable.
Cool. You got a ranking for this bad boy?
Yeah, I'm going to give this one an 86. So B.
86, nice.
Yeah. So it's not bad. Like
No,
I
it's
said,
not
I
bad.
gave it a good rating. I enjoyed the experience probably more than I was thinking, but it wasn't, I mean, it's hard to say it's Oscar worthy, but there isn't a lot of Oscar worthy films that come out these days.
I would give it less than that. I'm at like an 81.
Okay.
Mainly just because I couldn't connect emotionally. I was like, okay, I don't know. I did like the quirkiness of it, the kind of the real stuff. I thought Julie was my favorite part, and then the dad just because he was super chill and just like, and
I really liked Kyle.
Yeah. Okay.
Timothy. He was just like hilarious to me with his like young version of like screw the world, hate the man. Like his version of that was just so hilarious to me.
Yeah. He reminded me of that guy that did some movies. He's like in a band also that like I can't remember the name of the band. Anyways, same type of thing. Anyways.
Yeah.
But 81 for me, 86?
86 for me.
Nice.
Yep.
Well done. Well, let us know what you guys think about that. We are actually going to move on to a movie that I got a chance to see. You did not.
I did not.
And it is Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle. Yeah, exactly. So let me go ahead and give a breakdown on that. 4 teenagers are sucked into a magical video game, and the only way they can escape is to work together to finish the game.
That sounds like a horrible movie. With just that being the synopsis.
Directed by Jake Kasdan. And stars actually quite a few people. You have Karen Gillan, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson, among other people. And a surprise cameo from somebody. I was like, oh, what? They're in this movie. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you speak. Obviously, I haven't seen this, so I can't say too much. But 2 things were surprising about this movie. One, that they made it. Yeah. I was like, why are they making a sequel?
I know.
Nobody would have expected it.
I know.
And 2, that it was as successful and it's doing as well. I mean, it just knocked Last Jedi out of the top slot in the box office, which not surprising for me, but maybe for some people, like nobody was expecting that to happen.
Right.
From Jumanji.
And nobody was really wanting a sequel to the original Jumanji.
Right.
I really like the original Jumanji just because of it's nostalgia for me. I really I saw a ton when I was a kid. Like that was just a movie I watched all the time.
When they started releasing, I think the first like promotion that I really saw from this was they had like quick little videos of them shooting like on set.
Okay,
and it was like Kevin Hart, like BTS kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it was like funny though, and it was actually kind of clever. And I was like, hey, I actually kind of like that.
Let me just say,
I was like, no, it's Jumanji. It's gonna stink.
Let me just say that I really enjoyed this movie. Surprisingly, dude, I was laughing out loud almost. Well, this isn't good comparison for you, but because I really like Thor Ragnarok, but I was laughing out loud almost as much as I was in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And I was just surprised at how fun it was. And I think for me, and this is me and how I rate things, I, again, am emotionally invested. How did it make me feel? How was the experience at the movies? This film is not a great cinematic experience to where you're like, oh man, cinematography and acting was so this, and this. Well, those things are okay. They're not bad, but it's not getting merits on that. To me, it's getting positive reviews because I thought it was hilarious. The 4 main characters all got their chance to shine in super hilarious ways.
Yeah.
It was fun. And I really think that this movie is going to be successful in a way that is different for people that are fans of video games, because there's a lot of like video game like lingo and things like for example, this is not spoiling anything. There's someone where this character they meet in the jungle. He's like talking. They're like, and like he won't talk to anybody else. And he's like, oh, he's an NPC, like, and he's like, and then like only this person can interact with him, that kind of stuff. And like, there's a lot of really fun like little video game nods and things that happen in there. And it was just really enjoyable. I was laughing out loud a ton. Jack Black is the standout to me. Kevin Hart, I really enjoyed, where I feel like I've always kind of gotten used to his kind of shtick, I guess you could say. Like, I feel like he does the same thing all the time.
He's like an angered little man.
Right.
Stick.
So I really,
right.
But I really enjoyed him in this. The Rock was really good. Even Karen Gillan, who I haven't really even seen in anything other than Guardians. And
she's been in a lot. I mean, her career's just
right
now.
And she has this one scene in particular that I was rolling.
Yeah.
Like, it was so funny. The way they set it up is a little cheesy, but as the whole, I mean, the actors are there to play. They're not phoning it in. They're having fun with it. You could tell they're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Jack Black basically channeling a 17-year-old Valley girl, and
which, let me just say, some people are not Jack Black fans.
Right.
I tend to like him. Some people don't like his shtick.
Yeah.
Because he's got a very distinct style as well, but he's doing something different in this movie than he usually does.
It's really good. It's so good. I mean, I just enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as positives, that's a lot of really good stuff. I mean, kind of diving into the maybe negatives, maybe not so negatives. I didn't care for as much as the way that they set it up at the beginning and the way that resolved it. There's a villain who's just kind of like a throwaway villain. He's there to help progress the story along, but ultimately, it's not about the villain. It's about the 4 characters.
Right.
And them growing to learn to appreciate each other for whatever they have going on.
So like Breakfast Club.
Yeah, kind of like, exactly. I mean, they went to detention together. I mean, that's exactly how they meet.
Yeah.
So, as far as the way it starts, it's, I don't understand, and they don't explain it. And it's probably best that they didn't try and explain how it became a video game.
Yeah.
They show you how it happens, but you don't.
I'm fine with them not explaining it. I mean,
I was like, okay.
They never really explain in the first movie how Jumanji ever even came to be a board game. So I'm fine with that idea of it just being this ethereal thing. Like there's just things that happen in movies sometimes.
I really enjoyed it though.
You can do some of that, and it's okay.
There's not a lot of negative things to it. Some of the CG was like green screening at times, but for the most part, it was all right. And
that might fit.
I gave it a pass because, for the most part, I gave it a pass because I was like, "This is a video game,"
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's just an enjoyable movie.
Nice.
It's not going to make my top 10 list or even honorable mentions, but I feel like as a whole, it was just a fun movie. Check it out. It's good to just go hang out with friends, and the comedy is really good. I was surprised. Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I wish I had a chance to see it. I'm going to try and check it out.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable film. Don't go into it again thinking, oh, this is going to be an Oscar film. It's not that kind of movie. It's just a fun movie.
So, Matt,
yes.
What would you rate it?
88.
88. Wow.
Yeah.
You just rated that higher than Lady Bird, which is going to win an Oscar.
Because I emotionally felt satisfied at the end of Jumanji as opposed to...
What kind of podcast are we running here?
Exactly.
What kind of vidcast are we running
That's
here?
why you rate yours the way you do, Joel, and that's why I rate mine the way I do.
Fair
I'm
enough.
the emotional being here.
Fair enough, Matt.
Yeah, it's all good. But that's it. Also, I want to mention, before we wrap things up for this podcast episode, is I'm going to amend my...
You're pregnant. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I am pregnant, but my wife is, to be more precise on that.
Is she?
We're not having... Yeah.
Congratulations.
You didn't know that?
Yeah, no, I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, we posted on social media like a month ago. It's all good.
Man, that was eerie how I predicted that.
Yeah.
It happened.
So there's
got $1 million.
Other thing is, I did take my wife to see The Last Jedi. It was the second time for me to see it. We were actually going to go see Darkest Hour.
Yeah.
They were sold out. Saw The Last Jedi. She's never seen The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Interesting. So we were like, what do you want to see? She's like, I don't know. The other 2 movies we were going to see were sold out.
Yeah.
And Last Jedi was there. She's like, you want to see Star Wars again? I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. She's like, I'm like, would you though? Because you haven't even seen The Force Awakens. And she's like, yeah, let's just do it. Okay. So I gave her like a quick 3-minute, hey, so, Rey is this person, Kylo Ren is this person, and, and this is what happened kind of.
Yeah.
And basically, and she came out of it really enjoying the movie. And a lot of the things that people are having issues with are the expectations that were set up from The Force Awakens. She's like, oh, I totally loved all that stuff. Like she really enjoyed the movie. And it's interesting to get that perspective from someone who didn't see The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I'm actually, my reason why I wanted to bring it up was because I gave it an 89 when I rated it. I'm bumping up to a 90.
Wow.
I do. I really like The Last Jedi. It was better the second time as well. I think I'm going to like it every time I watch it. Got the chills all in the same spots I got the first time. I was like, oh my gosh.
See, I actually liked it less the second time I saw it.
Did you see it a second time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. You did
less.
tell me about that.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
I reviewed it after I saw it the second time.
Yeah,
so
that's right. I forgot about that.
Score.
I loved it. And but Jumanji 88, amending my Star Wars Last Jedi score. But that's really it.
I don't talk too much about it, but I mean, it's getting some crud right now. It's the numbers are tanking and all this other stuff.
Dude,
so.
it's already it's not.
It is the least. It has shown the quickest fall off out of any Star Wars movie.
It's already made more money than Rogue One has, though, too.
Yeah, but it's a canon film, so they expected it's underperforming their expectations by a huge
Rogue
amount.
One's canon. You mean an episodic film?
Yeah,
right?
and the fact that it got overturned by Jumanji in theaters, they're like freaking out about
week,
that.
I don't know, and it's barely. Anyways, I
they knew it was going to make a ton of money.
It's not a bomb.
It's not a bomb, but it is a very interesting idea of what's going to happen to the series.
It's divisive.
I
think J.J. Abrams is going to. I think for the most part, he's going to say he's going to kind of play off what Rian Johnson did, but he's going to come back and play it safe, kind of like we did the first one, I feel like.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's it for that. Again, connect with us. Let me know what your thoughts were about Jumanji, even The Last Jedi, and Lady Bird.
Yeah.
And email us, realreviewmedia@gmail.com. Find us on social media, facebook.com/realreviewmedia, or at realreviewmedia. Sam on Twitter and Instagram. Do that. Other than that, Joel, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good.
Nah, it's been real.
It's been real.